Thank you all so much for having me. Thank you for all you do in our community here in Redmond, across Central Oregon. It has been very heartwarming to hear all of the scholarship talk and all the things you are doing out and about in the community. At Family Kitchen, we believe in a spirit of collaboration and a spirit of community. I like to say, you know, it takes a village, and we literally could not do this without our Central Oregon community. Very, very brief overview on the organization as a whole. We were founded in 1986 by a group of women from Trinity Episcopal Church who saw a need with the mills closing down. And so they, you know, back in the day, it looked like some crock pots at people's houses and feeding folks who needed it, which has blossomed into an organization that serves 12,000 meals a month across Central Oregon, and that is in Bend, Sisters, Redmond, and Terrebonne. I wanted to read you a quote from one of our diners that came up recently. He said, "Family Kitchen is different from another place I go to get meals. Here it is so welcoming, and the meals I get are like something my grandma would make me." I'm gonna cry, y'all. I cry about everything.
So do I.
The meals are made with care. It's nothing like cafeteria food. The people and atmosphere here are so caring. The fact that families and kids are welcome here. I love coming here for the family table. I think that quote just shows a little bit that, you know, I think when a lot of people picture a soup kitchen, they're picturing something that doesn't feel great. It doesn't feel like family. It doesn't feel inviting. And Family Kitchen is the polar opposite to that. I wanted to speak specifically, because I know most of you live, work, play here in Redmond, about our Redmond operation. Like you mentioned, our Redmond operation is placed at Mountain View Fellowship. We have a wonderful partnership with the folks at Mountain View Fellowship. And I've seen some of your faces in the kitchen, and I have to apologize if you work in the kitchen and I'm the staff member on duty. Come back another time. Work with Trish, who's our kitchen manager. She's amazing. I am just filling in, and I am not a kitchen expert. So far in Redmond, we have served almost 10,000 meals this year. We are serving just under 2,000 meals a month to our neighbors across Redmond. In Redmond, we operate what we call a prep kitchen. So we don't serve people on site, but we work with a network of other nonprofit partners who work with folks who are in need of food. So for example, some of our current partners up in Redmond are Jericho Table, Jericho Road, Redmond Collective Action and their Redmond Street Kitchen program, Oasis Villages. We have a new partnership that we're actually just bringing on this month that I wanted to read a little bit about. I don't know if any of you are familiar with Bridge Meadows. They work with people who are currently in kids who are currently in foster care, or people who are just aging out of foster care. It says Bridge Meadows is an intergenerational community offering affordable housing and wraparound services to youth in and exiting foster care, their families, and their elders. We work hard to make sure that these folks are flourishing. So that's a new partnership I'm really, really excited about. We also have a new meal distribution up in Terrebonne. We've heard from folks in Terrebonne that there is not a lot of resources available up there. So our Redmond Kitchen has started to once a week prepare foods. We go up to Smith Rock Community Church and distribute that to folks in Terrebonne. I am very casual. I don't have a big, display or slideshow for any of you. I wanted this to be more of a conversation, so if you have any questions, I'd love to answer them. I wanted to talk about ways that you all could help support Family Kitchen, and some different ways you could do that, aside from just, will everybody in this room donate to Family Kitchen? I have some information out on some of the tables. I apologize, I was not prepared for the number of tables. I have our 2025 impact report, which has more statistics and information than you could ever hope for. I also wanted to pass around, in case anyone is interested, what Elizabeth mentioned, we often need on-call volunteers. In Redmond, our kitchen is small, and we don't every day need more folks to serve in the kitchen, but it won't surprise you, volunteers are volunteers. Sometimes things come up. People can't make it, people no-show. What we can't do is cook all of our meals and clean the kitchen without any volunteers. So if you are interested in being an on-call volunteer, a phone number or an email address and your name would be great. I will say, if you put your email on this list, I'm also going to put you on our newsletter list, so be okay with that. I'll pass that around. The other thing I wanted to call out, which is on some of your tables, but I have one up here, Family Kitchen historically has not done a lot of what I call formal fundraising. We've never had a gala, we've never had a big event, but we have a board member whose career is in art, which is so a world that I don't even know. But at the end of the month at Open Space Studios in Bend, we are having an art pop-up show. We have 18 local artists that will have their work up for auction, which will benefit Family Kitchen. It's a really interesting concept. I don't want to get too in the details, but it probably won't surprise you that if you're an artist, you quite often get asked to donate art for nonprofits and other organizations that want to make money. Artists can only donate the value of the tools that they used. They are not able to take a tax deduction for the price of their art. Because of that, Family Kitchen has come up with a really unique way to allow artists to donate a portion of the amount that their art sells for. So this makes it more approachable for artists who may not, be able to donate just huge amounts of time and money. If you are at all interested in art, there's a QR code on here. There's also a lot of information about our website. Tickets are on sale. Tickets are only $45, so it's relatively accessible for folks. Would love to have you share it if you know folks that are interested in art. And then lastly, I wanted to share a few things that we are looking for donations-wise, in case you wanted to support specifically the Redmond Kitchen up here at Mountain View Fellowship. I talked to Trish, and she said, we are looking for used, clean Tupperware. So this is not me asking you to go out and buy a bunch of plastic Tupperware, but I know that most of you have a corner cabinet in that kitchen that you open it and things just expand. Load those up, any you're willing to get rid of, we'll match them up, figure out if they have a lid to a bottom, and we would love to take those off your hands. 1, keep it out of the landfill. 2, help clean out your cabinet. And 3, that saves us from having to purchase disposable to-go containers. Yes?
Does it have to be Tupperware? So I got a bunch of other plastic there.
As long as it is not like the clamshell that has a bunch of holes in it, it does not necessarily have to be Tupperware. So I think about it like, this may be me admitting to too much, I like to go get Thai food takeout on probably a far too regular basis. You know those like black and clear containers that you get for takeout, or like the things that like pho or soup comes in? Those are great. So anything like that you've got would be wonderful. We'll be able to give it another life and reuse it. Anyone who has a garden, if you ever have an abundance of fresh herbs or produce, even if it's 5 zucchini, bring it by Mountain View Fellowship. We will take it and we will serve it up probably that night. She is also looking for, here's another thing you can clean out. I know that you have a bag of bags. Everyone in this room has a plastic bag filled with other plastic bags in their house. We'll take them and we'll use them. Same with paper bags. And then more specifically, beef bouillon, pasta sauce, trash bags, ranch dressing, and lasagna noodles. If anybody has those, wants to buy those and donate them to us, any day those can be dropped off at the back door of Mountain View Fellowship. Also, I will say Elizabeth and I are in contact all of the time. If you ever want to bring those to a meeting or something and give them to Elizabeth, her and I can get them. I did put some of my business cards out on your table. My cell phone number's on there. You can text me, you can call me. If you have stuff, I would be happy. I live up here in Redmond to meet up with you, grab things, or again, you can drop those off at Mountain View Fellowship. Again, thank you all for everything you do in the community. Thank you for having me and hearing about Family Kitchen. If there's time, I would take some questions if anybody has any specific questions about our work.
Where's your Bend location?
Yes, so in Bend, we are located, if you're familiar with downtown Bend and where the District Public Library is and the Boys and Girls Club, we make a triangle with those two. We're right next to Trinity Episcopal Church.
Okay. Do you have any peak periods or particular days where we need our outposts?
It really varies. That's a hard question to answer. So on our website, if you ever are interested in volunteering, if you'd like to bring yourself, a friend, your family, we can have volunteers as young as 8 volunteer in our kitchens. You can go on our website, which is familykitchen.org. It's on the business cards and all the things. There is a schedule there where you can see more details. I wish I could tell you like Tuesdays. We always need people on Tuesdays. It varies so much. And there will be times you look and it is booked for months. And there are times you looked and there's nobody signed up for months. So I encourage you, if you ever are looking to volunteer, to go to our website and look at that calendar. It's got a lot of details about what you'll be doing. I do have to tell you, you'll be cooking and cleaning. So if you like... Did you have a question?
Well, I just wanted to bring I work with the senior center, and we need a lot of, well, I say we need, but there for the seniors, and a lot of people don't know that. And some of the people that you work with might be able to get some help by going to the senior center.
Absolutely, yes. One of the things, like I said, we really truly believe in a spirit of collaboration. I really try my best that we're never duplicating work in all of our locations. So we encourage folks that eat at Family Kitchen to take advantage of the other services that are offered around town. And we work with those other organizations as well to make sure, are we all working together well, right? Is nobody recreating the wheel or doing, in Sisters, if there are only 2 meals a week, are they on the same day? That doesn't make a lot of sense, right? So we work a lot with our other nonprofit partners around town, even those that we aren't, official partners with. Thank you all so much for having me.